Hello and welcome to Squid Pro Quo, a Squid Game podcast, where there are only 3 rules. 1, a player is not allowed to stop podcasting. 2, a player who refuses to podcast will be eliminated. And 3, the podcast will be terminated if the majority agrees. I'm Sean.
And I'm Mike. And welcome everybody to the final episode of Squid Game as we know it.
Yeah. Like season 2, like Stranger Things, we made you wait for the last episode, you know?
We did. We did. Like I would compare us to Stranger Things more than season 3 of this podcast this show. Yeah.
Season 2.5.
I want to say thank you to everybody who sent us some stuff. We're going to go over what everybody's feelings are. We're going to talk about our feelings a little bit now that we've been removed from the season 3 finale of Squid Game. But I want to kick us off with a email that's a bit of housekeeping email from Bennett.
Okay.
And this will come as a surprise to Sean as well. So.
Okay.
The subject line is episodes with 3 question marks.
Oh no, okay.
Hey Mike and Sean, quick question about the show. I don't know if it's just me or almost every episode you reviewed from season 1 of Squid Game seems to have been taken down so that it's unavailable to watch. I have tried updating my phone and correcting, but seems as though you've removed those season 1 episodes.
What?
If you have any answers, please let me know. Bennett. By the way, love your podcast and listen to every single episode. Can't wait till you review season 2 of The Challenge. So, let me tell you a story, Sean. Spotify used to not really care about what music you put on your episodes.
Oh, no.
Right? And so I used to, when especially season 1, I think halfway through season 1, I realized that it was a bad idea. So I started changing, but we would start the episode with the
oh, right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then we'd end the episode with the beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. I have since found a royalty-free YouTube song that has similar vibes to like that song.
Okay.
And so that's what we use now. But, and on YouTube, when I finally, because we originally just put this out on podcasting software or whatever. And then later I brought it to YouTube with like some visuals that I don't super love. And those just got demonetized because YouTube's a little more quick on their feet with this stuff.
Yeah.
Where Spotify has only recently said, hey, you can't have this audio in your podcast. So this also happened with one of my other podcasts, The Ansem Report, where I'd use some Kingdom Hearts songs. And with that one, they told me, hey, just so you know, if you have 30 days to take this down or edit it out, or we're gonna either remove it or private it, your choice.
Okay.
So I privated those, so they're still not up on the Ansem Report feed, which there's like 200 some episodes of that, so that's a little different. And only like 10 of the 200 are taken down. With Squid Game, I didn't realize they had given me this message, or they didn't do it. And then just one day, every episode of season 1 was gone.
Okay. All right.
So, that being said, Sean, it is not all doom and gloom.
Okay.
I have been in the shadows, unbeknownst to you and everybody else, working on what I want to call the Squid Pro Quo Season 1 Remaster.
No way.
I have edited out all of the opening themes. It's funny. I took because a lot of them, like, obviously, I don't have the, like, project files anymore.
Yeah.
Or, like, the separate audio. So I'm downloading, like, a version off YouTube. Because the YouTube ones didn't disappear. They just not monetized, which I don't care about. But most of them are, like, crossed with the song. So you hear like as you're talking, doing the intro. So I've taken an intro from one of our newer ones and slapped it on there, and you can't even tell. Like that's how consistent you are with the intro, is you can't tell. But what I'm going to do is starting next week after this pod post, I'm going to release a remastered version of these episodes with new visuals. And the theme music edited out and our new theme music edited in. And I did some like very, very small, like loudness mastering, like nothing crazy. So don't expect like, oh, it's the new audio. But yeah, so we're gonna put those out. So thank you for noticing, Bennett, and that way people will be able to listen to those episodes again.
Yeah.
If they want, or for the first time.
Yeah. It will be $50 for the remaster.
It will be. We will actually release one episode at a time. We'll do it 1 week, and then 6 weeks later we'll release the second episode, and we'll call them season. Yeah. Each episode will be season 1, and then season 2, then season 3, as we go on. We call it the Netflix model. And so that's no. In all seriousness, we'll just release one a week until all. I want to say there's 10 episodes come out.
That sounds about right.
In a meaningful way. It only happened recently too, because I went back and listened to episode 10. Before we started season 2, because I want to know what we predicted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was still there then. So it was only within the last like 3 or 4 months this happened. So hopefully nobody like clicked on the podcast and was like, they didn't even do season 1. Fuck these guys.
Yeah. I do have to break you a little bit. It has been 8 months since season 1. Or sorry, since season 2.
Yeah, but like it was within the last like 3 or 4 months. Yeah.
It has been 8 months since season 2.
So yeah, that's the housekeeping email I wanted to go over. So please look forward to that. Sean, what is your immediate reaction to that?
I'm just so excited. I can't wait to find out what my royalties are going to be on this remaster.
We're not even monetized on Spotify.
I assume that like, you know, I'll have my agent contact your agent. You know, I'm sure it's.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm very excited. I'm very excited that they are not gone. I went through a real roller coaster of emotions right there. I didn't know they were gone, and then I found out, and then you immediately were like, "I've been in the night." You're Batman at the beginning of the Batman, just like they think I'm in the shadows, like fucking. It's crazy. In the way. No, stop. We can't do that. We can't do that. No, I'm so excited.
In the way. Yeah.
I want everybody to send Mike an email or just a message in the Discord thanking him for saving the show. # saving Squid Boys.
Or you can do what someone has seen to done and sign up the Squid Pro Quote email for all kinds of spam, which has been a treat to cipher through to get to your emails. So shout out to that person. Real fucking cool. I really like that. Should we dive into some of these emails, Sean?
Yeah, let's do it.
I have 2 emails from our friends, Kim and Landon.
Okay, yeah, let's start there.
They sent them after episode 1 and 2, and then after episode 4, I believe.
Okay.
So some of this might be before we knew what was going on with the whole season.
Yeah.
This first one is from episodes 1 and 2. Favorite scene here when Gihan chokes out Shaman Lady after she mocked him. Also loved his perpetual death stare at Daeho.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And real quick, a comment within an email here.
Okay.
Call me Christopher Nolan because I'm inceptioning you.
Oh shit.
Lots IFB on Spotify commented on Daeho because I did talk about the character assassination of Daeho.
Yeah.
And they say, just in case anyone isn't aware, there's a translating error, and Daeho originally says that he was in a section of the military for people with PTSD/anxiety. In the English version, it seems like he lied about the whole thing and is a bad person, when really it's just a mistranslation.
Wait, that's a massive mistranslation.
It's a massive mistranslation.
That totally changes everything about the character.
Right. I didn't fact check this. But I did give them a nice little heart on the comment because I appreciate it. So to me, that makes more sense than what we actually got, right? Because like I said, it was like a really strange character assassination for him, where he was like this pretty lovable guy, and then went to, by the way, I lied about being in the military, and the whole him having the tattoo made zero sense if he's, So I think that's probably true, that it was a translation error, and it was, hey, I have PTSD from my time in the military.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
Anyway, yeah. So, back to the email. I had hypothesized in one of the episodes that why didn't they show the exit room in Starry Night? And Kim and Landon say maybe the reason they didn't show the exit room, if we are extending grace that it wasn't strictly budget concerns, it was a metaphor for paradise/freedom, but Hung Ju 120 went back for her friends and died. No paradise for her, but it was probably just budget constraints.
I like that interpretation, though.
Yeah.
And
then they have a question for us.
I mean, I would also add, like, we never get to see it.
Right.
Because we never see paradise. Everybody that we love dies.
Ted Sarandos made that note specifically.
I mean, everybody, all the characters that we love it and want to follow, they don't make it.
It's true.
So maybe we don't get to see paradise either.
And they ask us if Squid Game, the Challenge 2, has keys and knives game, how would they represent it without risking jail time for accessory to murder? and further to that point, if Netflix went full evil and handed out knives, who from the first season of the challenge would fulfill the red duty? Lorenzo's a given.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
To be honest, I don't remember anybody's name.
Either. If anybody heard, I was furiously Googling.
The chick that wouldn't jump on the
the
bridge, she would stab somebody for sure.
Oh, she would stab somebody so quick.
And then she'd like gaslight everybody to thinking it was May's fault. Because that's what happened in the show.
Oh, what about the dude with the crazy beard? Remember him?
The dude with the big guy?
Yeah. Well,
big guy might do it.
There was the big guy, and then there was the dude with the beard who made it to the end.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
He wasn't a big guy.
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe you're right.
It was Sam.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. No, he wouldn't stab anybody.
Okay.
And then finally at the end of the email here, it says for podcasts, because I asked for podcast recommendations. If you love horror movies, the evolution of horror has kept me entertained. Very thorough catalog. Until next time, Kim and Landon.
If anybody wants podcast recommendations, here's one that I love, and I desperately want to rip off somehow, but I don't know how to do it. And it's called Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe? And it's two people that take turns pitching fictional entries in the failed Universal Monsters shared cinematic universe, the Dark Universe, that started with that Tom Cruise mummy movie and then ended with that Tom Cruise mummy movie.
Yeah.
But the premise of the podcast is they take that movie as the start point of the shared universe, and each episode they alternate pitching the next movie in that shared universe that never came to be. And I want to find a way to rip that off so bad because I think that's such a fun, creative idea, but I haven't found a way to do it yet. So stay tuned. I am
my podcast
bankrupt.
recommendation, I have one as well.
Okay.
Is called Song Exploder. Have you heard of this one, Sean?
Okay, I have not.
So basically, the host has a musician on and they talk about one of their popular songs and basically talk about where their headspace was at when they wrote it.
Wow.
How it went through in the studio, and all kinds of stuff. The most recent one I listened to was Patrick Stump of Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I was
talking about
saw that.
Sugar We're Going Down, which it's as a big Fall Out Boy fan, I learned some things. So it was a very interesting podcast. And Tara really swears by it. She listens to a lot of the episodes. I've only listened to a couple, but Song Exploder, very cool.
I like it.
All right.
I want to add a surprise.
Here we go.
A surprise person from the challenge that would be good with the killing. The old guy.
Oh yeah, he'd probably kill somebody.
I think he'd do it.
Yeah.
I think the old guy, and I think the mom would surprise us.
She might. I wish the redheaded chick that I fell in love with would kill me. Anyway.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, oh, she's a real person. That'd be kind of messed up, right?
Haley, that was her name. I wish
that was my first thought when you were like, who would kill? I was gonna be like, oh, fucking, I wish Haley would kill me. But I was like, no, she's a real person. Like, that's too far.
No,
so I'm glad you voiced it for me.
She can kill me. It's okay. Let's go to Kim and Landon's next email here. Hello, Squid Boys. Then this was episode 4, so we still had, 2 episodes left before it was done, or 1?
Yeah, 2.
2, okay. Firstly, Sean, we are so sorry for your loss, LOL. We could feel your grief for the quality decline through the computer.
Oh, yeah.
I will say it is much easier to refer to Season 3 as Season 3, not Season 2, Part 2, as there is indeed quite a step down in quality. One thing keeping us willing to continue with any future Squid Game endeavors is our enjoyment of your podcast, so we're hanging in as long as you are. That's sweet. You guys are sweet. Our favorite scene is when the CGI baby reveals its full robot form and shoots lasers at the VIP. Oh, wait. Did we just cross the line like your podcast buddy? We're just bitter that Netflix did not hire Landon for game development, so we're just trying to match the writing quality for possible future use.
Whoa, that's crazy. You know what, Landon? Get in contact, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna reboot Squid Game.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Gihun, this man is 3 seasons and being given responsibilities for half the main characters' families. Hey, buddy, look out for my mom, Song-woo. Brother, Saibyuk. This pregnant lady and her baby. He's carrying the weight of everyone, except his own child. Wah, wah.
Oh, fuck. Yep.
Finally, which was more of a letdown? Season 3 so far, or Rock, Paper, Scissors as the final game in the challenge? Kim and Landon.
Ooh. I think Season 3, because the show used to be really good.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas the challenge was always fun, but I don't know that, like, I would say that I was like, man, I can't believe that the show fell in quality, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I'd say Season 3.
Okay. Next email is from our friend Jip.
Okay.
And he says, what is up, gamers? It's Jip214. Please don't dox my legal name. Anywho, first I need to publicly apparently we need to when the email has his full name when he sends it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
by the way, in case anybody forgot, Jip214, the person who spoiled the end of Season 2 for us. But yes.
It's funny that you mentioned that because he goes on to say, first I need to publicly apologize for spoiling the twist last season. It seems Sean has not forgiven me yet, which is understandable.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Second, I wanted to share a little bit about my thoughts so far. I think Hide and Seek has to be one of the best games we've seen in the series. It is such a twist that the games are now actively telling the players to murder each other. Mike brought up Tug of War as an example of the players killing each other indirectly, but this time the game is basically kill someone to win. If this game was the first or second game, most of the players would have never agreed to play it. Finally, we have to talk about the CGI baby. She raw dogged that shit with no epidural and pushed that shit out in 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Forget the blood transfusion. This shit makes no sense at all. So glad y'all are back. Absolutely love the show. Jip214.
Aw. We love you too,
They need a medical
Jip.
advisor on staff, you know?
Jip had some comments on the Discord as well that I wanted to add to this conversation. So Jim had 2 comments, one that was from when he finished the season, and then one that he posted a few weeks later for this in particular. So the first comment right after finishing the season was, I've had some time to sit with how I feel about the ending, and I don't think I like it. I understand that the main arc that we saw in Season 2 and 3 was 456 versus the Frontman. The Frontman and 001 from the first season think humanity is inherently evil, and 456 disagrees. And because of that, it's pretty obvious that 456 or the Frontman are probably are going to die, but probably not both. That being said, I don't think him dying for the baby is a satisfying end to his character. Am I crazy? Like, we just met this baby 2 episodes ago. It doesn't even have a freaking name. And also, I am glad that the Frontman has clearly had a change in his philosophy on life, but his redemption feels a little unearned in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm hating. This ending just did not hit as well as Season 1's ending. I truly do wonder what my thoughts would be if this was one long season.
I also don't think the frontman's changed his. Like people keep saying that, and I just don't think the frontman has changed. I think he has always been this person that like is conflicted about his job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like also understands that he thinks this is a necessary thing. But that doesn't mean he's gonna like kill a baby or you know what I mean? Like like him bringing the baby somewhere with the money that he knows they'll be safe. I don't think necessarily is like, oh, this guy's had a change of heart. Like I just don't agree with that. I get why people are saying it, but I just don't agree with it.
Yeah. A different part of that comment that I kind of want to touch on is like Gihan's sacrifice, right? And like, this is a baby that we met 2 days ago. It doesn't have a name. Like, and also that's not really the part that like makes me question anything. But the part of me is like, what does he think was going to happen after he was gone? I mean, I guess maybe the games have proven to him enough that they'd like take care of her. But I don't know. It feels like it's like, what happens after you sacrifice yourself to this child?
I also think this sacrifice isn't necessarily as honorable as we're trying to make it, because I think a normal person would go, oh, he sacrificed himself because he's gonna show them.
Yeah.
But like, it's more about like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking throw this baby over the edge.
And,
you know what I mean?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is like, I was thinking, what would I do in this situation? And I think I would do what Gihan did. Not because, like, it's the honorable thing to do, but because it's like, well, fuck, I can't do this other thing. Like, I guess I just go out. Like, I don't...
Yeah, okay. If I'm in this game, I'm tossing the baby. I'm sorry. I'd punt that baby if they wanted me to. Like, like, this ain't my baby. Like, I got here. I did everything I need to do. I am punting that baby. If it's my baby, like if I'm MG coined, then no, I don't want to kill my baby, right?
Yeah.
But like if I'm Gihan and I'm like, okay, I made it again. What are the chances of this?
I have the worst fucking luck.
I have the worst fucking luck, but I don't because I made it again.
Yeah.
I got to get rid of this baby. You know, like I gotta get rid of this baby.
I want everybody to respond to this episode, and we'll talk about it at the beginning of the challenge when that comes out. I think it comes out in November, so we're only a few months away from it. But I want to know, would you kill that baby? I want to know.
I would toss the baby higher than I needed to.
And if you were going to kill the baby, would you just like do it, or would you really go overboard with it? I want to know.
I'd football spike that baby off the edge.
Do like a touchdown dance?
Touchdown! Yeah, I'd do the dirty bird or something just to be like, hey, I did it.
Oh no,
that ain't my baby. You know?
Oh my god.
Maybe I'm a bad person. I don't know. So next email.
Well, hang on. Sorry, there's one more comment from Jim. One more comment.
Sorry, Jim.
This was from way later, and Jip said, "Do you think that the frontman changed the games for season 2 and 3 because Gihan was back in the games, or do you think they start with red light, green light every year, and then all the games afterwards are different?" Also, well, let's start with that bit. There's no way they change the games that quickly, right?
I think they start with red light, green light every year. I mean, they have that cool robot. Like, why not?
And I also feel like it's like, what other massive game are you going to do to eliminate like 2/3 of the people right off the bat?
Right.
You know?
I mean, it seems like it's a tradition for him to sit there and drink a scotch and watch it with classical music, right? So it's like, you know, probably is. It's how he gets ready for the games. You know.
Yeah, it's some people have coffee in the morning, and he has some whiskey and watches a bunch of innocent people die. Next part was also, do you think the VIPs watch any of the games before they arrive, like on a live stream? It seems to me like they care a lot more about what the VIPs think when they are there. For example, when the front man dimmed the lights during red light, green light because the glass maker... That is not right. He meant glass bridge. For example, when the frontman dimmed the lights during Glass Bridge because the glassmaker figured it out. That makes me think the VIPs only watched the last 2 to 3 games. I'm pretty sure they've said that they are watching the other ones on a live stream.
I don't know. I don't
because
remember
I'm pretty sure that the VIPs have shown up before and commented, "What about this game that was played before we got here? That was incredible."
Oh, maybe you're right.
I'm pretty certain.
I do agree though that it seems like they care more about what they think when they're there.
I agree. Yeah.
Also, just a quick moment. How bad was the lip syncing and the voice acting for the VIPs? Again, awful. I just want to bring it up again. Terrible. Awful.
And the last thing I just want to say about Jip, and I want to get your yes or no live on the podcast, because either way you go, it's going to be funny. I think we bring Jip on for an episode of the challenge.
Jip asked if he could be on for another episode of the challenge, and I told him
I think we bring Jip on for an episode. Okay, I was really hoping you were going to say no, just for.
I think we bring him on to get your live forgiveness reaction.
Oh, okay. I like it.
You forgive Jip live.
I'm going to have to really work on it to be able to do that come November, but I'll do some soul searching.
So next email, and this one I'm just mentioning because I don't want them to feel bad, but Kristen emailed us saying, like, because I think I asked the question in episodes 1 and 2, like, why are they even bringing up the VIPs, and Kristen said, oh, it's because, in the next episode they show up and they're in the suits and they want, to be shocked by it. And then she emailed again saying, oh my gosh, I didn't wait for you guys to talk about episode 3, and I'm so sorry, don't read my email. But I'm just here to tell you, Kristen, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay. Not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal. You didn't Jip it, so
yeah,
good job.
Yeah, you could never be as bad as Jip.
Yeah. People using my name to mean made a very small mistake. You've never seen Community. Anyways, okay.
Yeah, no, I watch good television like Squid Game. This next one is from Andrew.
Okay.
Who says, "Don't stop squidding." Hey, Squid Boys.
Okay.
Just wanted to say I've been loving the podcast. It's been such a good mix of chaos, hilarity, random deep dives, and solid takes. You've made Squid Game even more fun to watch, and I'm sad it's ending soon. Thank you. That's so nice. I know you've got the BoJack Horseman podcast, and while I'm a fan of some animation, I've never really been able to get into BoJack. Please don't hate me. I'm really hoping you'll cover something else next because I'd love to keep listening. If you're up for suggestions, Alice in Borderland could be a great follow-up. It's got that same wild survival vibe and heaps to talk about. Anyway, thanks for the good chats and laughs. Hope there's more coming. Cheers, Andrew.
So we got to finish BoJack because it's been a long time coming. And Squid Game isn't technically over. We're still going to do the reality shows. But I will say, my life would be so much worse if I wasn't doing this kind of thing with Mike. So I don't want to stop after BoJack.
Oh, that's very sweet, Sean. Thank you.
I don't know where we go from there. BoJack. I know the creators of BoJack have a new show coming out on Netflix. That would feel like a good place to go. I've told Mike I really want him to watch the first season of True Detective. I think that would be really fun for us to do. But we have to focus down on BoJack and get that done because we've been doing it for so long. But after that, I don't. Yeah.
The idea of Fallout Boys.
Yeah, there is also Fallout Boys. That's a great idea. I don't know where we go, but I would say I don't think we're going anywhere.
We're still going to do the challenge for sure, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they've already signed on for a 3rd season of that, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so we'll see where we go from there. But thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Next email from Sammy. First-time emailer, wish I had Discord. Hello, Sean and Mike. This is from a recent listener named Sammy. I wanted to tell you that you're my favorite podcasters, along with Bill Simmons and Overly Animated.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Bill Simmons.
Oh, get fucked. Oh, my God.
I must say, I have watched all of season 2.5, and I may only be 14, but I sure as hell love your show and your podcast, or this show and your podcast. I'm also re-listening to the first season, and I have to say Sean's NFT bit and the Avengers Endgame bit made me crack up in the middle of the night laughing for 10 minutes. Thank you for all the great content, Sammy. Thank you, Sammy. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Sammy, only 14 years old, listening to Squid Game.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know what's funny is that you said get fucked, and I was like, yeah, eat shit, Bill Simmons, but I knew the twist that Sammy was 14.
I'm so sorry. All right, let's take a break from the... Yeah, I'm fucking sure. Let's take a break from the emails for 1 second and jump to a Discord comment.
Sure.
From our good friend, Korn, who said...
Hi, Korn.
Finally watched the finale. Based on how they were obviously trying to wrap it up and get rid of 456, the ending makes sense with the games they played / outcome. Although, the entire thing still sucked. The 222 thing was just a hard no for me. As a mother, I would have at least tried to make it across the damn jump rope thing. The fact that she was willing to die but not even try was so bad. Then at the end with 456 willing to sacrifice himself to save the baby, I'm sorry, but ain't no way in hell I wouldn't have been making it out alive to get back to my own children. Plus, did he genuinely trust a bunch of cold-blooded killers to come and take the baby, make sure it got its money, and find it a home? That was very, very unbelievable. And the side plot shit fell so flat. Something felt so off about Squarehead going to get her kid, but not showing them reuniting. Yeah, I think I think I agree with about every bit of that.
Yeah, and good to know that I'm not the only psychopath that killed that baby. Thank you, Korn.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that part of it, but I don't have kids. I don't know.
All right, so back to an email from our friend Mackenzie, who sent us an email I think we read last time, and here's a new one. Thank you so much for reading my email. After listening to your coverage of episode 3, I was also lost to the absurdity of having the baby compete. However, it did answer my question of how are they going to get 456 to regain the will to live. His desire to protect the child because he knew he was a failure to his own daughter needed to... Sorry, I got lost in the sauce there. His desire to protect the child because he knew he was a failure to his own daughter needed to live to protect this baby and try to make it back to his own child. Breathed in a little bit of life back into him to carry on. The episode was brought down significantly by the terrible dog made with the same graphics as Dobby from the PS1 Harry Potter games. And they included a picture of Dobby the elf, and it does look a lot like the dog. I love Rottweilers and have two myself, attached to a few photos of them, and they're cute dog Rottweiler photos. When the dog died, I shut the show off and refused to watch for a few days. I had to finish watching, though, because I needed to know where everyone ended up. Watching the jump rope also gave me anxiety from being in middle school. I was terrible at it then and would die immediately in the games. No spoilers, but I was half satisfied with the ending, kind of. Thank you kindly again. Keep up the great work. And then follow-up email from Mackenzie. A few minutes after I sent the last email, Netflix dropped the trailer for Squid Game Challenge Season 2. Looking forward to listening and watching. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to do another email or do you want to jump to another message?
I have 3 more emails.
And I have 3 more messages, I think.
All right, you go first.
Okay, so this one was from Key Bennett. So, Inho joined the games in 2015. Gihan joined the games in 2020. Season 2 starts 3 years after Gihan leaves the games. A 1-year time jump in the last episode of Season 1, and a 2-year time jump in the first episode of Season 2. In either the first or second episode of Season 2, it is mentioned that it is the 5-year anniversary of Inho's wife's death, which means she died in 2018. Inho went missing several weeks / months prior to Gihan's games, I think because the landlord was worried about rent, although Fandom Wiki says it was a week before Gihan's games started. Either way, this implies that the 2020 games are when he became the frontman, otherwise he'd have been missing for years. This lines up as well with O Ilnam giving him the position because he wanted to play that year, and needed a frontman to take over and help him. In Seasons 2 and 3, Inho is both the frontman and the host, so we can assume O Ilnam played both roles in previous years. So, Inho joined his games in 2015 after he was fired from his job as a cop for taking money from a criminal and joined the games in desperation because his wife needed a liver transplant or she would either have to terminate the pregnancy or risk dying. Since no baby is mentioned, then we can assume the baby was never born. There are a few possible scenarios here. A. Inho's wife terminated the pregnancy and died 2 years later from her condition. This begs the question, why didn't Inho's winnings get her the transplant she needed? B. Inho's wife and unborn child both died while he was in the games, and it is actually the eighth anniversary of when his wife died, and not the 5th, and one of the show's writers messed up the math. What do you think?
It's interesting. The thing that struck me when you were reading it that I thought of was you talk about the liver transplant.
Yeah.
That to me makes the whole side, hey, we're selling organs thing. It makes me believe that the front man would not want that to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe he would. I don't know. Like, I'm torn on it. But, like, that's obviously going to be, like, a soft spot for him, right?
And, I mean, they do hide it from him.
Right. So, I don't know. I do think that, and I've talked about this on previous episodes, but, you know, the creator of the Squid Games, whose name always escapes me, spent years coming up with the story. And then was immediately asked to write a season 2. And so you can see the attention to detail was missing a little bit in a lot of this stuff. He's not like a Tetsuya Nomura where he like, he has all these plans that came to fruition, even though he thought he was only writing one Kingdom Hearts game, right? So I do think that they needed a Squid Game like lore Bible, and they needed someone to be in charge of it. And they didn't do that. Maybe they did, and they're just bad. But like, because Key's right. There's like a lot of like inconsistency with that, and that making sense and not making sense. So,
yeah.
What did you have more thoughts on it?
I think it's interesting. I didn't notice watching the show. I think that Inho way underserved. I don't know. I thought that all the stuff we learned about him in season 2.
He did serve. Cunt, Sean.
He served.
He was serving cunt.
He was. I think he's really cool in season 2, and I feel like he's barely a character again in season 3, and that was really disappointing.
That was the biggest disappointment to me, is I thought we were gonna get like some mastermind reveal behind his plan, and instead he's like kind of like the Joker, but less interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'd say he's the Joker. He just feels unfeeling almost, like he's not even enjoying it. He's just.
Well, I just mean in the way like he doesn't actually have a plan. You know what I mean? He's just supposed to be an agent of chaos, but it's like
yeah.
All right, next email. Thank you, Key, by the way.
Yes.
Next email is from Lisa, or as she calls herself, Player666.
Ooh, I like that.
And the subject line is, Baby 222 is actually a sneaky good metaphor.
Oh, let's hear it.
Hey, Squid Boys. Super fan of both Squid Games and your podcast here, listening in from Ireland. Wow, ooh. Ireland. That's crazy. I always wanted to go there. So glad to hear you guys hate Season 2.5 as much as me. It's a sad day when you can say that Squid Game The Challenge has better plot lines and acting than the finale season written by the actual creator of the show. Imagine Lorenzo as a VIP. True. He would act better than those guys did. Just listening to your episode 4 debrief there and realize that when you bemoan about how the baby didn't sign up for the games, it's actually a metaphor for how being born is basically a lottery, no bread though, and you get automatically entered into the game of life, whether you choose it or not. Just like Baby 222 in the show. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, also, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. Also, why were we deprived of a decent Gihan frontman showdown? Absolute waste of one of the most emotive and compelling storylines. Also, was 100% waiting for Hot Detective Brother's old superior to get involved at last when the comical hired goon guy was arrested for breaking into Captain Park's house. Spent that whole scene waiting for that little storyline to come full circle, and it didn't. Yeah. Would have been great for the detective guy to have been vindicated at last by his old boss, and they stormed Squid Island together.
Yeah.
I did love the framed photos of the evil Squid Gang on assorted fishing trips, though.
More
fishermen than frontman, am I right? Get it? Do you get the joke?
I think we went past that a little too quickly when we talked about the actual episode.
We did.
It's really fucking funny. They have these pictures all smiling together.
The Dachi guy just like, I caught a fish. You know? Random thought, by the way. We know frontman technically donated his kidney to his hot detective brother, but what if it wasn't his own kidney, but one of the black market ones from the games? Anyway, Hope you two keep making more Squidcasts, and please finish your BoJack podcast. Thanks for keeping me company on my commutes, Player666. Thank you, Player666 or Lisa.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. I liked the BoJack reference of us getting the joke. That's great.
And we love BoJack.
We do. And good. I mean, stuff we've already echoed, like why was there not a Gihan frontman showdown? Yeah. The detective never came back into play. I forgot that part of the story is frontman gave his kidney to his brother, which is why he didn't have one for his wife. I forgot about that. So yeah, a little more lore there. You want to read another Discord?
Yeah. So this one is from our good friend Cheery Theoden.
Cheery
said, so I keep coming back to the idea that the creator originally wrote this to be a one-season thing and didn't even really want to make more seasons, but either did so to secure a bag or because Netflix was going to make it anyway and they wanted some kind of control over the story being told. And the reason I keep coming back to it is because does anything really materially change from the end of season 1 to now? Like, the quote-unquote original ending is still pretty much entirely intact, right? To recap, season 1 ends with Gihan quote-unquote winning, but ultimately deciding that trying to change/destroy the system is more important than his own personal happiness/life, seen by him choosing his mission over his daughter in the very last scene. And as for the detective, he discovers dark secrets about his brother and the games, which thematically serves as a metaphor for the way that the games, aka capitalism, warp people into something different than who they started out as. So now at the very end, we have Gihan, quote, winning his battle of wills with the frontman, but does so in a way where he prioritizes accomplishing his, quote, goal/mission, preserving life/the future, aka the baby, over his own life. Except instead of dyeing his hair red and metaphorically dying, he just literally dies so that we can't keep making more Gihan Squid Game stories. And then with the detective's plot, same thing. He learns more about the games and the way they change people, but ultimately can't stop them because he's really just there to be a big metaphor for how nothing stops the system. And he is basically left in the same place he was at the end of season 1. He can't go back to normal life the way things were, but also, he's powerless to actually solve any of the issues. And lastly, just like the end of season 1, the implication is that the games just keep going. No matter what you do or where you go, they're out there.
Well put.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly well put. And I wonder, is a more powerful ending just Gihan deciding to go and try and stop them and not being certain, like, will he, like, is this something that you can win, you know? Than what we get here, which is, I feel like a definitive answer to that question, which is no.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think what they should have done is he should have killed the baby. And then he's taking his money and he's going to go visit his daughter in America. And he dyed his hair red. Yeah. But then he sees whoever that actress was again playing Dadachi in America.
And he's like, I gotta play these games again.
Yeah, instead of going to talk to his daughter, he gets a call and he's like, go into your daughter's house, Gihan. And he's like, no. So just do the same thing again.
There was definitely a version of the finale pitched by Netflix to the creators that was that, right? That was like, what if Gihan goes to America? I don't know if he said that specifically. I know he said that Gihan wasn't always going to die, but...
Well, no, he did. He said that originally Gihan was supposed to see the American person playing Dadachi.
Yes, but I wasn't sure if the implication there was that he would then go through the loop all over again. I'm sure that there was at some point pitched by Netflix, what if he goes and he sees my job isn't quite finished and he has to enter the American games? Like, what if we did that, guys? I'm sure fucking Ted Sarandos pitched that, right? He has to have.
Yeah, it was Ted.
Yeah, it was Ted. He's the only person at Netflix whose name we know.
Ted Sarandos was probably like, okay, so he goes into his daughter's house, and who's there but Frank Underwood? And he knocks the desk with his ring.
Oh, no.
And then it's like, House of Cards Squid Game crossover.
Oh, my God. And then they end up
Frank
in the
Underwood
down.
Died.
Well, no, he got in a really bad car accident, and so his face is different now. But it's still his.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean it's not Kevin Spacey? I thought Ted Sarandos would put Kevin Spacey in it. All right.
I did too, but I was trying to save it, you know.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, he got in a car accident and he looks just like Bradley Cooper now. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this next email is from Jip again.
Okay.
Brother just likes to yap, okay?
He does.
So he says, writing a second email for the last episode of the show for now. I want this email to be mainly be questions, so I will keep my thoughts brief. Every single person I've seen talk about this season despises season 2 and 3 being split, so that is not a new take. Other than that, I have 2 big gripes. Number 1 is the fact the final game has no characters I care about at all. Mike described them as evil goons, and that is a perfect description of the Group O voters for the final game. The moments where any of them died did not hit in any way. Second, and this ties into splitting the season, is how many plot points go nowhere at all. I keep asking myself about the boat crew and the sexy detective, because genuinely, if you cut out all those scenes, does it change literally anything? And on top of that, I go back to the scene where the recruiter hands people bread or a lotto ticket. That shit was so long and added nothing. They totally could have made this a 10 or so episode season. Sorry that was not as brief as I wanted. Now for my questions. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you would change if given the power. It's easy to bash on something we hate, so I always try to take a step back and think about what we would do instead. Do you have anything that you would change off the top of your head, Sean?
I mean, off the top of my head, being very, like, big idea focused and not the nitty-gritty of how I would do it, I think more of a focus on the front man in season 3 would help a lot. I think, I mean, I just, it's easy to say, but just fucking cut the baby. Like, cut the baby subplot, and I think, and spend that time on Gihan and the front man, and the show becomes so much better. The cop, I mean, maybe have the cop have died at the end of season 1 and have made season 2 and 3 all about Gihan and the front man. Like, maybe that would have been the way to do this.
I think what they could have done is if they had in season 1 introduced like a character that cares about the cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the story is, okay, this guy disappeared and I need to figure out what happened, right?
Yeah.
And then
like
at least there's some like mystery, and it's not just a replay of I confronted my brother again and nothing happened, except this time I didn't get shot, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about you?
I think I would just scrap the whole fucking thing, dude.
I mean, that's the right answer, right? Is just fucking end it on season 1.
End it on season 1. Just scrap the whole fucking thing, dude. Just scrap it.
Yeah.
But what I'll say for now is hashtag release the Sean cut.
Yo, I was cooking a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, he was cooking. Another question, if you were given the keys right now, where would you take this series? Would you explore the American games or maybe a prequel season for the Frontman's games? Just ending it is an option too. I already said this. I would scrap it. It's done.
Like, okay, so I think the answer is just end it. But if we're going to take Cheery's like hypothesis that they're going to do this anyways, and it's just like, are you going to do it or are you going to let somebody else do it?
David
I think
Pincher.
I think I'd just go full in on the fucking reality show.
Yeah, honestly.
Put
all the money there.
I mean, that's easy. I think I would not touch the Korean Squid Games again. I think I would say we have to stay away from that. If I'm in a room and they're like, we're pitching the Squid Game cinematic universe, we're fucking doing this. You could do it or somebody else could do it, but we're doing it, right? I think we don't touch the Korean characters or games. I think you leave that holy, precious, sacred. Even though they already defiled it with seasons 2 and 3, we just pretend they didn't.
Right. I have a pitch.
Okay.
So American Squid Games, right?
Yeah.
You do, it plays out very similarly to the first season where you meet these interesting characters, like 6 or 8 characters. They do the first game, a bunch of people die, it's red light, green light, right? Yeah. And then you spend the second episode like fleshing out their backstories. But there's like a main character, and he can't be exactly like Gihan, obviously, but he's like the American version of Gihan, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a loser with a heart of gold, you know. Maybe he's a little more like, maybe he's a little better with his daughter. Gihan was pretty cringe with his daughter, you know.
Who's playing?
But Timothy Chalamet.
Okay. In my head, I was seeing Brad Pitt.
Too old.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe he's a younger, because Gihan's pretty old too, but maybe he's a younger Gihan. Maybe he has like a very young daughter, like, it's Timothée Chalamet, but he looks rough. Like they make him look ugly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so then it kind of plays out normally, but at the end they play there's no Song Woo part. Like there's not someone he knows in the games. It's just kind of like the people, and we end up with like the 6 people that we met. Maybe one of them dies. Maybe for an emotional moment in the like the height of the final the height of the season, someone dies. So there's the 5 people left, and they're having to compete with some other people in this final game, but it's like a bigger like battle royal type, maybe like Sky Squid Game, but like there's just more people, right?
Okay.
And as like our hero has to make this decision to like kill one of the people that we've like befriended, there's a big explosion in the ceiling, and a helicopter kind of comes in, and there's a rope ladder, and there's a man in the frontman mask hanging from the rope ladder, and then he pulls the frontman mask off, and it's the frontman from the Korean Squid Game, and he's like, "Come with me if you want to live," and he gets them out of there. And the cliffhanger of season 1 is like, we're gonna take down the Squid Games one by one. And he's like, I've run these games before.
I thought you were taking that in a totally different direction. I thought you were gonna do the fucking Avengers Endgame bit again.
No. I thought about that. I thought about doing that bit. But this is a better bit because it's the front man, and then the season 2 is like them trying to infiltrate the Squid Games with the front man. And this team we've built. And in the season 1, they build like this like. He's like the old man from season 1, but he's like more evil and more American.
Okay.
More like mustache twirly, maybe. And that's who they have to take down. Like he's the villain.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, and then like the end of season 2, they front man sacrifices himself so they can live, but they take down the guy, and then it's revealed that there's like fucking like 70 different Squid Games all over the world, on this like interactive map.
Yeah.
And they're like, my God, it's like Squid Game season 3. Directed by David Fincher.
You gave me time to actually think about my real answer, and my real answer is
was my answer not real?
No, your answer was real. Okay. You gave me time to think of a real answer for me.
Gotcha.
My real answer is I would go around and find creatives like the original creator of Squid Game from different countries that understand the culture of those different countries and understand like the economic culture of those countries, and I wouldn't do like a big shared franchise where they're crossing over, but I would do, Squid Game Mexico, Squid Game Brazil, Squid Game China, like, Squid Game Czechoslovakia, like just a bunch of different places exploring, the different cultures and just kind of focus on that aspect.
So like Love is Blind.
I guess, yeah, Love is Blind, but it's just doing the first season of Squid Game over and over and over again with these different cultures.
I'm sure that's already happened. You're telling me there's not a Bollywood Squid Game right now?
There's got to be, right?
There's got to be. There's got to be a Bollywood Squid Game.
Yeah.
They absolutely did it. Anyway, Jip also wants us to rank all the games, and he said we can skip it if it takes too much time, which I think that would take too much time. So
let's do our favorite. Let's do our favorite and our least favorite. And that way
my favorite is probably hide and seek.
Yeah, I feel lame for like, should we take hide and seek out of the equation?
Okay.
Because it feels
it's clearly
like
the best one.
Yeah.
I will say it's maybe not the best game, but the best game from like a show perspective, if you're taking out hide and seek, is the 6-legged pentathlon. That is like it outside of season 1, especially if you're like, hey, what's the like most cinematic, interesting, exciting part of Squid Game? I'd say the 6-legged pentathlon.
That was a really good. I think my favorite is Tug of War. Tug of War brought me to a spot striking that I don't think the show reached again in my like anxiety and tension.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was probably my favorite. Do you have a least favorite? It's iconic, but it might be the cookie one.
No, I like the cookie one. I mean, I don't know. They're all pretty good, but yeah, I guess it might be the cookie one. Maybe.
Can I be real? I think my least favorite one is Squid Game, the last game in season 1.
Yeah, I mean, that one was less of a game and more of like, it's this final showdown between these two.
Yeah.
I guess friends is the wrong word, but like acquaintances.
Yeah.
Where Gi-han clearly thinks he's better friends with this guy than he is, and there's a lot of tension with that, and yeah. Yeah, I think they all ended up pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say Mingle, and I was like, no, Mingle had some good tension. Glass Bridge obviously was good.
Yeah.
Obviously Red Light Green Light is especially the first one, the first time you see it, it's like, oh my god.
And I think somehow they pulled off, like, I was going to say Red Light, Green Light, but the fact that they were able to do it twice and I enjoyed it both times, I think is really impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Marbles has the great moment. It has a bunch of great moments, actually. Jump Rope was very visually interesting. And Sky Squid Game, like, it's definitely better than when they did the original Squid Game, and the crux of it's the baby, right? But I think I think they did something interesting with it, even if I don't like how the premise starts.
Yeah, I think I enjoy that game a lot more if the baby isn't in it.
Yeah. Jip finishes the email by saying, thanks for making such a great podcast. Oh, and the challenge season 2, let's fucking go.
I'm so excited. I can't wait, guys. I have one last Discord comment to read.
Okay.
And this one
I have an email and a Spotify comment. So
okay, so let's hit this comment and then we'll hit your stuff and then we'll be out of here.
Right.
So Fabio, our good friend Fabio, the iguana,
MDA award winner, by the way.
MDA award winner, by the way, said, this is in 2 parts. The first part is, I only have the finale to watch left, but I really enjoyed the second half of season 2, honestly. I got spoiled on some details for the end, so I'm fine admitting I'm good with part 2 as a whole. I like what they did with Gi-han, and I really liked all the games. This season, the games were amazing in general. I feel like the idea of what would be the games in season 2 is a really easy thought exercise with lots of possibilities, and they still managed to surprise me with every game, with how either 1, interesting the game itself was, or 2, how the rules of the game inspired certain behavior during the games. If nothing else, they nailed that part of season 2. The boat plot and also kind of the Oregon/escape plot are definitely the weak points. Overall, just poorly paced and executed, but luckily the rest of the show delivers enough that I can mostly ignore those parts and still enjoy it. And the second half was from after finishing the season. I understand completely why people felt like we had a jump the shark moment, and the VIP stuff comes at exactly the worst time, so the intersection of those two things makes it feel jarring a little. I think for me overall, the good still outweighs the bad, and I end up at a 3.5 out of 5 this season. The finale definitely dropped my score, but I wasn't so thrown off that I didn't enjoy myself. The finale did miss some marks in regard to tying up loose threads, probably the weakest episode of season 2 and 3, honestly. But again, net gain overall between the 2 seasons, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Fabio with some much needed positivity.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of my favorite things about Fabio, is I think that whenever we are lost in the sauce of negativity, I love that Fabio can shine a bit of a bright light on what's going on. That being said, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you were able to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed, like, I didn't get to the end of this and go, this was a complete waste of my time, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think I would have felt that way if we weren't doing the podcast.
See, I don't know if I feel as strongly as you do. All right, our final email is from Kevin D.
Okay.
Finale thoughts. Whoops, this got too long. Hi, Mike and Sean. Hey, thank you guys so much for doing this podcast. It's nice to go back over all the chaos the show brings with 2 people who think as critically about it as you do. Wow, that's nice. I'll start by saying I think the creators came up with an amazing story that was just totally fumbled in execution. I have a lot of feelings, don't we all? But today I want to focus in on one, the absolute botching of Gi-han and In-ho's story. In season 2, In-ho is clearly obsessed with breaking Gi-han. He travels into the city to re-recruit him, inserts himself into the games to test him, and shows him extreme favoritism by not killing him at the end of season 2. Actor Lee Byung-hun does a wonderful job at it too. And then for narrative reasons, I guess, In-ho is largely absent for season 3 until the end. He presents Gi-han with the same choice he was given by Il-nam, but goes a step further by offering to let the baby live. At the end of season 3, Gihan doesn't falter and, in my opinion, wins the game he's playing. Not the Squid game, but his personal campaign about humanity against Inho. This doesn't flip Inho like some people say, but it clearly affects him. It would have been great, except for a few things. One, it came literally out of nowhere. Inho didn't give a crap about Gihan in the first games. Why is he obsessed now? What was his goal? My own theory is he wanted to break Gihan the way Ilnan broke him to what? Become the new frontman just for kicks? Second, his lack of involvement in season 3 really dilutes the story that 2+3 tells. 6 months and 3 episodes later, I didn't have the emotional attachment to that particular story that season 2 gave me anymore. Lastly, in some ways, this thing about Gihan proving humanity can be good keeps falling short to me. I think about his game with Ilnam in season 1 finale with the homeless guy, about if anyone would go help him, and I always fixate on Gihan didn't go help him. He got caught up in the point he was making. Gihan makes his big sacrifice at the end, but he repeatedly falls along the way. Anyway, that's my rant. Thanks, guys. Kevin D. That's a very good point he makes at the end there about Gihan not going to help the guy, right?
Yeah. That's an incredible point.
No, that was very well put. That's kind of how I feel about that as well. I think the Gihan Inho stuff is just a missed opportunity, man. Like, they set it up really well. We were when we ended season 2, quote unquote, we were bummed about the split because it was clear that they just split one season of television, right?
Yeah.
But we were still pretty captivated by that whole thing.
Yeah. We were super excited for Inho and Gihan's season 3 storyline.
Almost like they also decided, hey, we're splitting this season, but that's the end of that storyline. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense, you know?
No.
So yeah, it's a bummer because I think even with the baby and even with the other stuff, if there had been some kind of satisfying climax to that, we wouldn't be as negative on this season as we are. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree totally.
Like, if that stuff had stuck and been cool, like, we wouldn't be bitching about the baby as much or the VIPs.
Yeah.
Or how the rest of the plots didn't really go anywhere. Finally, I have a comment from our good friend Wildcat Diana.
Yay!
And Diana says, I think the show jumped the shark too, but not for the being a player part. I hate the use of newborns in survival stories because the writers clearly never had to deal with a newborn.
Yeah.
Newborn babies need to breastfeed every 2 hours, poop things only a mother can love, and are usually light sleepers. That baby is starved to death because the mom only eats a small meal, can't sleep with the adults yelling, and is drowning under that coat. Sorry, but no. The Walking Dead video game did the same thing, and no.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Absolutely.
That's a very good point by Diana. Thank you, Diana.
Yeah.
Diana also kind of roasted me. I did say, is like a drone pilot a job? I said in one of the episodes, and she said, hello, yes, drone pilot is indeed a paying job. Not usually something you do full-time. They usually are in the filmmaking industry or events industry and have it as a selling skill. It can usually pay extra good money. So
you fucking moron.
I'm a dumb piece of shit.
You dumb idiot.
Your Honor.
Dumb piece of shit.
Your Honor, my client's not a dumb idiot. He's just a silly little guy.
He's just a silly little guy.
Just a silly little guy. Anyway, thank you guys, everybody who reached out with emails, comments on Discord, comments on the podcast itself. We really appreciate it. And I think we're all kind of Fabio was more positive than the rest of us, which good for him.
Yeah.
But I think we're all kind of on the same wavelength where we're like, hey, this wasn't great, but we're interested to see what else happens here.
Yeah. And I think that, like, you know, the thought I came to right this second as we were, like, getting ready to wrap things up is that even though I don't feel the same way about this season that I felt about season 1, or even really how I felt about the challenge, at the end of each of these seasons, I always have the same feeling, which is that I'm so sad it's over because I love doing this so much, and it's it's a little bit softened because we know when the next thing is coming. But whenever we finish one of these seasons, whether we really liked it or not, I'm always very sad at the end.
Yeah, definitely. speaking of things we're doing, like I said, the Squid Game remaster will start coming out next week. And in between that time, Sean and I were going to finish up What Is This Crossover episode season 4.
Yes.
And then in November we'll be ready for Squid Game Challenge season 2.
Yes, I'm very excited.
In the meantime, if you miss our voice, go listen to BoJack, which is What Is This, a Crossover episode, a podcast where Sean and I talk about BoJack Horseman. Sean's never seen it. It's one of my favorite shows. That's the concept of the show.
And if you haven't listened to it, you have 3 full seasons available to listen to.
Yeah, and there'll be a 4th one very soon.
Yes.
TM soon.
Yes.
And then, we'll see you guys for Squid Game The Challenge Season 2, which we're excited about. But I think if you don't listen to BoJack, that's probably the next time you'll hear from us.
Yeah.
So you should just listen to BoJack.
Yeah, just go listen to BoJack. It's so much fun, guys. We have such a good time. It's a little more lighthearted than this show. But we still get into it. We still get into it. Yeah.
There's a lot more 9/11 jokes in that show.
Yeah, there's a lot more 9/11 jokes in that show, and there's a lot more of us sitting here and me spiraling into an existential crisis.
And a lot more talk about How We Made Your Mother, the podcast where Josh Radnor and the creators go over How I Met Your Mother.
I noticed that you didn't recommend that when you were doing podcast recommendations.
Yeah, and I never would.
Mike, I agree to end the episode.
I also agree to end the episode. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Anyway, should we start?
We should.
That's on you.
Which is something that I do.
Yes.
So we will start very soon. But I just want to think about how crazy it is that we're here. Like,
you don't remember how we start.
Think about how crazy it is that after all the work we put into this podcast, 3 seasons,
This would be a good thing to say, on the podcast, I think.
Just think about, I just want to kind of sit with it. You're just you and me, Like, I just kind of want to sit on the feelings that we have about,
It's almost like you don't remember how to start the podcast.
That would be ridiculous. That would be
pretty silly.
That would be very silly. It'd also be very silly if I couldn't find it anywhere in my Google Docs. That'd be even sillier.
That'd be silly.
It's gotta be somewhere in there, you would think.
That'd be a silly Billy thing.
You would think it would be somewhere in here. However, anyways, okay, now I'm ready to start. Now that I've gotten all my feelings out of the way.